I could just hack this. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This week I am tackling another house project. And the project is this right behind me. I have this chest of drawers that I have had for at least 10 years, potentially 12. I don't remember quite which home I bought it for. But in any case, it's one of my earliest pieces of furniture. It has been through several moves with me. It is slightly falling apart, but still functional. And it is a recent addition to this room. This set of drawers used to be in our guest room, which is currently our nursery. And it had to come out of there in order for us to do the nursery. So we have decided to move it in here, where it doesn't really go with the style of the room. These are the nightstands that we have. This is the wallpaper that we went with. And yeah, you can just kind of tell we have these doors on the closets, and this is just, it doesn't go with the style. So I was considering buying a different set of drawers, just getting rid of this one, getting a new one. And then I realized I could just hack this. I've never done an IKEA hack before, and I think that would actually be really fun. Now, since we do actually need more storage than just this, I decided to go ahead and buy a second Malm drawer. So I went onto the website, realized that the white version is cheaper. And I don't really want this color anyway, because if I were to buy a second one in this color, since this one is 10 years old, it's gonna be a different color. This one has yellowed very much over the years, and a new one would just still be a different color, so I would have to do something with them anyway. So the plan is to paint them. To paint both of them. I actually spent yesterday and this morning assembling the new one. So here we have it. The brand new Malm set of drawers. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is paint both of them. And I'm gonna paint them, let me just walk back again. I'm gonna paint them in the color of the ceiling. The ceiling is a slightly different color, slightly different shade of green than the wall is. And I think it would look really nice if I painted them that color. So yeah, that's the plan. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna sand them, I'm gonna paint them a complementary green to the rest of this room. But since the style is so off, I want to do something about that as well. So just in order to make this look a little bit more old-fashioned, I'm gonna do a little decorative trim around each of the drawers, and I'm gonna do a handle, and that should really change the style and the feel of this drawer set as well. All of my sports gear just all sitting in this corner. All of this stuff needs to go into the second chest of drawers. We really do need that extra storage space. I'm actually kind of debating whether I should make them one at a time or make both at the same time, like try to do both at the same time. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get them both into this room, but maybe I will. Maybe I should do them both at the same time, just so I can see if there are any differences. So in that case, I will just go ahead and empty out the drawers, empty out everything that's currently in them, and move that one over here as well. I'll try to get some cardboard on the floor, because I don't want to ruin this brand new nursery that I just made. Okay, so right away I can see that they did change the design in the past 10 years, which of course was a risk, but that's okay. Just the very bottom is going to be slightly different between the two of them, but considering where they're going to be placed, I don't think that's an issue at all. They're going to be literally like next to a bed, so you won't ever really see the bottom, and at least the height and the width are exactly the same, so I think it'll be fine. First thing I should do is to sand these down. So I brought my sandpaper, sanding block, and I'm just gonna give them a good little scrubbing. Since this is obviously laminated material, you can't just paint straight over it, and you also can't just go ahead and sand it. It needs to be sanded carefully and then primed with a primer. I did buy some primer. I bought some colored primer so that hopefully it's the right color right away, and then I can just go over with one nice coat of paint. The inside has changed a lot as well. I feel like this one's gonna be much sturdier. Maybe I need to store light things in that one and heavier things in that one. Both cabinets are sanded and cleaned with a degreaser. And I think before I do all the chores, I'm just gonna go ahead and paint these with the primer. By now you guys know how I am. I need some visual wins to keep me motivated. You can definitely tell where I didn't sand well enough. This white one was pretty hard to sand because you couldn't actually see a difference between the sanded bits and the unsanded bits. Good news is I love the color. This is gonna look fantastic. And this is just the first layer of primer, so I can go over this, sand it again, and then reprime those few bits. Time for an update. So I have all my drawers in here. I've just been working on my decorative trim, and I took a little bit of time to figure out how I want this trim to look. So I decided that an easy way, let me just clear this off here. I decided that an easy way to determine where I want that to be is to just take these two little paint stirrers, put them in the corner here, and have my trim be just inside of that. So this way I can make sure that it's in the same distance on all of the drawers. So I marked down little dots, measured, cut out my trim, and let me just show you what that's gonna look like more or less. So it's gonna look a little something like this. There's gonna be a handle in the center, so let's just use a pen as a visual representation of the handle. I think this is a really nice placement, looks nicely proportional. So I've just been cutting up this trim that I got using these shears, which works fantastically. Very easy to cut, so that's great. But I do think I will have to go back to the store and buy more. I also forgot to buy wood filler, and I realized that no matter how much I try, I'm not going to be able to get this perfect. And this little bit probably is going to need some wood filler. I did buy some glue already, so that is all ready to go. But yeah, one more trip. So happy. I love the way this looks. Can't wait to see this painted. In fact, I think that's gonna be the last thing I do today. I'm losing light quickly. I would really like to get this primed so that I can just finish the whole thing tomorrow, go over with a layer of the actual paint, and then do the handles. I have one of them here, by the way, so maybe you can get a bit of a better idea of what that's gonna look like. I think it's gonna be really, really cute. Here it is in the daylight. Love how this looks with just a primer on. Those are the bottoms, by the way, of the cabinet. Don't worry, you won't be able to see that. I've decided not to use the wood filler. I actually really like how real it looks. Now you can see the cutting lines, and it came out a lot neater than I expected beforehand, because cutting wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. So I think I'm just gonna go over with the proper paint, and then I'm finally done with this stage, which is good because I feel very done with it. Paint is on. It should dry into a really nice satin finish, so I'm really excited to see what that will look like. But I'm gonna give it a couple hours to dry down before I start working on the handles. I've moved the bases of the dressers out of that room so that we have a bit more space there, but oh, I just absolutely love how this looks. Oh, I am very glad that they are the same size. It's a pretty seamless look. I think it's gonna look great once it's done. All of the contents are on the bed currently, but oh my gosh, I can't wait to see this finished. Put all of that stuff in here and just get it all nice and cleaned up, get it styled. Oh, it's gonna be fantastic. Very excited so far. It's done! I am so happy. It looks so much better in here. Like, now it actually goes with the rest of the room. I feel like it just looks like it belongs in here. I love how it mirrors the color of the ceiling and just goes great with the green and everything. I am beyond excited. This is exactly what I was hoping for. And indeed, you can't tell the difference in the bottoms of these because that is always covered in shade, so it is completely fine. I did a little bit of minimal styling on the top. That painting, which used to be in the nursery, is now up there, and that photo that used to be up there is now above the bed, so that all worked out great. I wasn't able to fit the yoga mats into one of the drawers, but at least now all there's here are just the yoga mats and my stuffed animal basket. I might keep these in a different room, or I might try to get them in here somehow after all, but for now it is much more clean than it was before because I was able to fit all of the other workout stuff into this drawer here. Just needs a bit more organization, but that will come, no rush. I'm so happy with how this looks. So a couple more things we had to do that I wasn't able to show you very clearly because the light is just horrendous. Since these drawer fronts are really thick, the screw that came with the handle wasn't long enough, so we had to sink it in a little bit. So we drilled the right size of hole from the outside and then a slightly bigger one from the inside so we could sink in the screw head. That worked out great. Now we can have the handles on here, and they are fully functional even though you don't obviously need them because The original drawer doesn't have a handle, but I love how they look. And I love the trim. It just gives such a classic vibe to this cabinet. I also had to go in and do some touch-ups on the paint here and there. I didn't wipe off the glue very well around the trim in all the areas. So sometimes when there was a little bit of glue left over, the paint didn't take very well on that. So I just went over that with a little brush. And also we had some scuff marks from trying to do the handles. That was quite a challenge, let me tell you. Yeah, now that I did that, it's touched up. It is just, oh, I am so happy with it. It gives us lots of extra storage. It's out of the nursery, and I am very glad that I got to try out this technique with making this like trim border, because that is actually what I'm planning to do with all of the doors in the house. Now, I know throughout my room makeover videos, some of you guys have commented on the doors, and yes, they annoy me very much. Our doors, I hate our doors at the moment. First of all, they are painted in a very yellow type of white, which stands out now that we've painted everything else. But also they are so modern and boring, like it's just a plank of wood. And I would love for them to look a little bit more classic as well. So I was actually hoping to do pretty much this to all of our doors. Just have like one rectangle up top and then a smaller one at the bottom or something like that, you know, just a nice decorative trim on the doors, paint them all a crisper white and change out the handles. But that's quite a big project, and even though I will be happy to tackle making the trim right now, I don't want to be sanding that much now that I'm pregnant. Especially those doors, they would need a lot of sanding, which is physically quite taxing, but also the dust from that, I just don't want to be breathing that in right now. So then we'll probably have to wait until after baby gets here, or I might have to convince my husband to do all of the sanding for me, and I can just do the trim and the painting. But yeah, that is the plan with the doors. So for the nursery as well, the bathroom, the office, just all of the doors on the first and second floor, I would love to do that too. And that is why all of our doors are currently very yellow looking and not in line with the rest of the decor. But that's a project for a different day. For now, I am just very happy. Sorry, this light is so bright in here. Just very, very happy to have my new dresser, and happy to have saved some resources by not getting rid of and replacing this dresser, but simply upgrading it. Because that's what we're all for here, right? I would love to know if you have ever hacked any IKEA furniture, completely made it over. I was actually surprised to see how easy this was to paint. It took well to that primer and paint combo. Oh, also, since I know I'm gonna get questions, I get all my paint just from my local hardware store, which is a Dutch store with just Dutch brands. So what I used exactly might not be of much use to you, but it's the Gamma own brand in case you are Dutch. I just used that and had them mix one of their own colors. This is the color Dennegroen. I'm fairly sure this is Dennegroen. And on the wall that is Apache, and this is Dennegroen. On that and the ceiling. Probably not of much use to most of you, but who knows. So yes, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel to see all that I will be up to in the upcoming months, and my nesting, which is obviously happening here. If you would like to support me through Patreon, that would be a huge help in this season of life. There is a link in the description box below. Thank you so much for your support, guys. There's another video here, right here, that I think you might also enjoy. You can go watch next. Thank you so much for being here once again, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye!